Good Tuesday to all. Today is day 26 of the Omer. Towards the end of Parashat Emor, this week's Parsha, there's a story that's not discussed as much as the other sections of the Parsha. It is the story of the blasphemer. It's a story that has to do with an individual whose mother was Jewish from the tribe of Dan. The father was an Egyptian. This was, according to tradition, the only such unfortunate event that occurred in Egypt. Now, this young man, the product of this relationship, had a serious challenge because he traveled with the people of Israel. He was a member of the Jewish faith. He converted, or the mother was Jewish. But the nation settled based on the tribes of their fathers. He was not from any of the tribes because his father was an Egyptian. So the story is that he tried settling with family members from his mother's side, but he was rejected and they claimed, "You're not from the tribe of Dan, you don't belong here." So he was upset. He took members of that tribe to court in front of Moshe Rabbeinu. And when Moshe Rabbeinu said, "I'm sorry, you cannot settle with the tribe of Dan, you have to settle with those who have converted," he was upset and he cursed. And that's the story that the Torah shares with us. When the Torah introduces this parsha, this section, the Torah tells us, Vayetze, he went out. So the rabbis ask, where did he come out of? So there's a midrash that shares with us a statement from Rab Levi. And Rab Levi says, you want to know where this individual came out of? Me'olamo yatsa. Me'olamo. From his world. Now what does that mean? Me'olamo yatsa. You know, the greatest classic work of Musar that is studied is the work of Ramosha Chaim Luzzatto known as Mesillat Yesharim. This is from the first half of the 18th century, and it's a classic. It talks about spiritual growth. It talks about self-improvement. It is indeed a wonderful text to analyze and study. But his first words are, Yesod החסידות ושרש העבודה התמימה הוא שיתברר ויתאמת אצל האדם מה חובתו בעולמו. In other words, if you want to know what is righteousness and what is indeed the obligation of a person in this world, is a person must know what his obligation is in olamo, in his own world. In other words, no two people are alike. My challenge is different than your challenge. My responsibility and my mission, even if I don't choose to accept it, my mission is different than your mission. We're all in different worlds. We have to figure out our obligation in our world. Ma chovato be'olamo. A person must study and must develop an appreciation for his obligation in his world. What the other does, it's not my business, because I'm different. I have to figure out what I should be doing. This is how he introduces this incredible work of Mesilat Yesharim. You want to grow spiritually? Know what your strengths are and understand your toolbox, and then figure out how you can make a contribution to the Jewish world and to the world as a whole. So now, if Olamo is about understanding your own world, I think we could appreciate what Rav Levi in the Medrash tells us. This young man had a very serious challenge. He was born and really with no father. And the mother most probably did not have the greatest of reputations, knowing that he was the product of a relationship that was a problematic one. So he grew up with this challenge. It was indeed a challenge. And eventually he couldn't deal with it. He cursed. And he got punished for it. He left his world. In other words, he had a unique challenge of accepting the difficulty, and difficulty he had. But he didn't deal with his world. And therefore, that's what Rav Levi points out. Yatsa me'olamo. He left the uniqueness of his challenge. He should have dealt with it, accepted the fact and the reality, and that would have been his mission. He left his world. And that's a tragic story because, yes, his situation was not one that was desirable, but he was given the tools, because we are all given the tools to deal with our own world. And now, this is a concept that is 100% true, that we all have our own challenges and we have to figure out how to deal with them. In some ways, we are unified during this period of time, right? You can pick up the phone. We are all dealing with the same challenge, right? The challenge of a lack of knowledge of what's waiting for the future of humanity, right? These are not good times. These are challenging times. Yes, we're optimistic, and yes, we have faith, but at the same time, challenges exist. Challenges exist because we are limited where we could go, where we could shop, what we could do. If we could or cannot travel, it's hard to make plans. But our olamo, usually our challenges are personal. Here, we are all in the same boat. So perhaps it's a time to talk about unity, that we are unified. We could converse, right, communicate with others that feel the same, but it gives us the opportunity to give chizuk, because we can understand the challenge of the other because we have that same challenge. And perhaps that unity is a good thing, right? If we unite, right, united we stand, we could go ahead and fulfill our mission as a united nation. And perhaps the prayer of a united Klal Yisrael will be more effective. We should hear good news. Continue taking care of yourselves and have a wonderful Tuesday. Bye-bye.